Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. Using words on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug you. Long was 1975.
Welcome back to another Commodore 64 versus the ZX Spectrum video, or as I like to call it, Playground Wars. Now in the last one of these I did the Empire Strikes Back by Atari on Spectrum versus the Commodore. Well, obviously, as is the format of these videos. And I did that because once upon a time I did a comparison video as many versions of Star Wars as I could play, including the Spectrum and the Commodore 64 version. Now, for these games I've kind of stripped it down to this, just Spectrum versus Commodore 64 format, but I thought, because of the three movies and the three games, I thought it just fair that I close them off by doing the final entry in the original Star Wars trilogy and in the original Star Wars trilogy Atari games. Now, this was released in the arcade in 1984, which was a year or so after the original Star Wars. Oh, it's got music and a countdown. The original Star Wars game by Atari was released. This is raster graphics and not vector graphics. I'm not sure why they did that. They went with a different approach. It's a number of side-scrolling isometric levels based on the movies. You have speeder bikes, you have AT-STs, you have the Death Star, you have flying over Star Destroyers, with wingmen and stuff like that. But ultimately you have to destroy the Death Star, destroy the, the Rebel headquarters, or make it to the Ewok base. Now, I'm going to do it on the Spectrum, released by Domark in 1987, released on all the usual suspects, the Commodore, the Amstrad, the Amiga, the Atari ST. I don't think there were any console ports of this. Now, my brother had this back in the day, and I really liked it. That short little blast of music there means it is a 128K version. I'm going to throw a bone, because I played these both ages and ages ago, that the Commodore will probably take this. But yeah, my brother had this back in the day and I absolutely loved it, but sucked at it, because this is a very, very hard version of the arcade machine. The arcade machine I also absolutely loved as well. Isometric or not, it still had that amazing yoke. Right, so let's get into it. It's 128K, there is no speech, because in the arcade here it would say, I see them, wait for me. Well, no, it wouldn't. There'd be Vader here, but then it would say that when you jump on the speeder bikes. So you can select easy, medium, or hard. Yeah, you may as well just go with easy, because it's hard. I do like that. I do like the fact that it says Return of the Jedi at the bottom, and your score is on the right. I'm assuming that's just to make the screen smaller to keep up the speed. But yeah, it's monochromic as such. But yeah, that's the total of your sound effects. But basically, avoid them, because they will, big dumb bastards, and fly, did that in the arcades, into the trees. But don't stay in front of them, because they shoot you. They will shoot you if you don't stop moving. But the problem with don't stop moving is that there's trees everywhere. But I think this is really nice graphics. I can speed up, I can speed down. Go for the Ewok traps. Helps if they're directly behind you. You still get the bonus. In the arcades it would go, ooh, dee dee, or something. See, he flew into a tree up there. Oh shit, it's so hard. This is all versions, including the arcade, to get the actual angle, of the gaps correct. Ooh, no one behind me, still got the points, assuming that gives me extra lives. Yay, ooh, ooh! Balls. This is hard, man. I might have to play a really long chunk just to be able to get... I want to be able to at least do, the first two levels, because then essentially you will understand how the game looks, comparatively on all levels, because they are all pretty much like this. Just the AT-ST one is, it goes from bottom right to top left, and you're in a walker, and then logs get dropped and stuff, which is weird because, oh no, because the other ones follow you. But this is the total of the gameplay or level design. See, he shot me. This is what I mean. You've got to stay tits frisky, or I didn't even press right then, I don't know how I missed that. Or they will shoot you. But the problem with that is, like I said, there's trees everywhere. The only sort of saving grace is, we've got there now, is that they will hit traps and shit as well. There you go. Music would be nice. It's a 128K game. It would say, wonderful, you are now part of the tribe. So, could you not give me music? Alright. You see, it is 128K, but I mean, give me music in the game. Look at the size of C-3PO, mine. And sound effects, decent sound effects. Now, the TIE Fighters are exactly the same problem, bollocks, as the speeder bikes. they will shoot you, but they will also fly into the pillars. But it's the isometric judging of the gaps that is so difficult. And once you shoot the reactor, which comes out of nowhere, and the flames come, you have to come backwards. Balls. Have to come backwards, and there's fire behind you. And okay, yeah, there's fire behind you, and you have to keep ahead of it because it will engulf the screen, and it just makes getting out so hard. But that makes it a pretty accurate representation of the arcade. But to my mind, I don't know, is it possibly this is harder than the arcade? I might try on a more difficult level. You never know. I need to get to that stage. I think it's safe to say you're not going to see the Scout Walker stage, but bollocks to it. Like a shit, so hard. This, you know, you're going to get a good feel for what the game is. But yeah, monochromic. Do like the, you know, the green foliage, should I say? If you're quick enough, you can fly right and shoot them. Yeah, they made an effort. Piss off. Ooh. No, no. There we go. He should totally have hit that tree. Yoink. Ah, I'm playing on joystick. Ironically, it will be the other way around on the Commodore for some reason. But this is, I'm a keyboard guy on the Spectrum. Ooh. Apparently I can't shoot him. Come on. So, what, is that because he shot me or I clipped the log? Haha, I said clip the log. Just get me to the Death Star so I can at least show them some more of the level. If only just blow the Death Star up. That kills both of them. Oh, 2 for 1. It's a bog off. Can't believe I said that. Points if you know what it means. I actually don't answer. It's sad. I get so nervous and pensive when they're in front of me. Wouldn't they just fly into the fuck off big Ewok village? I don't know. You made it. Wait for the music. Sorry about the traffic noise. It's rush hour. That means it's 6:30 in the morning. Boring random fact. Oh, I got to press start. Here's a nice little jingle. It's just too bloody short. Right. Just blow up the Death Star, Dave. Attack the Death Star. But you're a fish. How are you going to remember what you said? Fuck. It's a trap. Ooh, cheeky. Right, yeah, I just want to show you trying to come backwards so you can realise how fucking hard it is. But it's nice graphics. This level colour palette, where do I shoot, is a lot worse than the first level. But you know, it's playing to the Spectrum's strengths. Give me an extra life. Give me an extra life. Or we're going to jump to the Commodore. Don't jump me back though when I say give me an extra life. That's not cricket. So yeah, it's a fair representation of the arcade. It's bloody hard, and to be honest, the design of it, the isometric nature of it, same as the arcade, makes it a little difficult to judge the gaps. Right. I have a feeling that my gun fired a lot quicker than that in the arcade and in the movie. Have I got an extra one? Can I get a witness? There you go. Right, so all in all, it's a pretty decent port of a very, very limited arcade machine that's absolutely balls hard. I do like that music. Which they changed, didn't they, in the stupid fucking ones that Lucas dicked around with. I feel like there should be fireworks or something going off. Right, let's have a quick look at the Commodore 64 version. So there we go, this is Return of the Jedi on the Commodore 64. There you go, title screen representation of the poster in the art. Ooh, mixing it up there with the SID chip. Yeah, and representation of the arcade marquee. Now, I think it's safe to say, looking at this, that this is going to be in the multicolour low-res mode, but that is a really, really, really nice rendition of the music. And as you would expect, because it's SID chip, that being the reason it's good, this obviously, the fact that it goes on longer and longer and longer means that the Commodore won this one out. Wouldn't it? Listen to that. Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, no brainer that the Commodore wins on that one. Obviously you can see on the right hand side screen it's Domark, and they made all these versions and they made all the entries into the trilogy of home computer games. Oh, although the other ones were made by Vector Graphics, these just don't much just handle the releasing it. That is fantastic. Right, okay, so all-time Jedi Knights. Oh, sorry Spectrum, you're out of your league when it comes to music. But the AY chip could have done some goodness. Now I got to play this on keys, which is always the other way around, as I said, and I normally play on joystick on the Commodore. Let's get into it. Exact same structure, same level design and everything as the Spectrum version has in the arcade. And I don't know if it's as hard. Right, there we go. Left or right, select your difficulty level. Obviously I'm going for easy again because I'm a pussy. Right, you are hearing correctly. That hiss of air is the floaty noise your speeder bike makes. Slightly better on the laser effect. And they're just as stupid as the Spectrum version, but they don't seem to be as frisky with the firing. Now, obviously, it's a bit chunky on the Spectrum, but not massively, but it's running with colour. I was completely in the middle of that. Yeah, they don't seem to shoot as much, but it's still tits frisky tricky to, you know, navigate the Ewok traps, and then they make farty noises, and the keyboard just fell off my lap. Balls! That was the keyboard's fault. But yeah, I like it. Graphically, it's quite nice, quite colourful. A little chunky, but you get used to it on the Spectrum. But I think it's safe to say this looks better than the Spectrum version. I mean, like I said, a little chunkier. Oh well, I'm not sure how that worked. Bollocks. It slips off the keys. I really wish I could play this on joystick. I got the keyboard on my lap. But you know, the use of colour, which obviously is the Commodore's strength over the Spectrum, means this just looks lovely. Right, stay that side. He just flew through a tree and didn't die, but disappeared. Good to see that none of them actually seem to catch up with you on all versions when there are traps. Oh, jeez. Yeah, just as many trees were there, I'm guessing. Okay, that's where it totally looks epic compared to the Spectrum. It totally sounds epic. But yeah, it's I would say, especially this, look how much room I've got. It's like fucking dropping a sausage down Park Street. I got bags of room. That's a bit unfair. I mean, it looks better as you would expect, the colour, the sound, and I would say, shit, that this one's a little bit more defined. But, probably because of the colour allows you to see the ship. Fuck, I don't know if I could go left, but yeah, why is there so much room? This is probably more room than the arcade, I shit you not. I have got a gameplay of the arcade version from years ago on this channel. I'm really not sure where to shoot in this one as well. I'm just going to start hammering. Look, there's two ties. I don't know if I actually saw two ties on the Spectrum version. Where am I supposed to shoot? Honest to God, I have done this on the Spectrum and the Commodore. Oh, there we go. Itchy nose. Yeah, I'm liking the use of colour in this. Really much am. I mean, if you had either of these versions, or other versions, and why weren't there any home console versions? I don't know. I'd love to know what you think. But I think, I mean, we're leaning. I'm only comparing it in 2 stages. Balls! We'll have one more go. I'm not, oh, it wouldn't let me do it. Oh, I've got to rotate, haven't I? One more go. I think it's safe to say that this is gonna, well, not just pinch it by a bit, steamroller it over the Specky, but that's not to say the Specky is a bad version. It's a good version of a not perfect and very hard arcade game, whereas this is a very good version of a not perfect, very hard arcade game. Right, yoink. Surely either one of these, and the Spectrum was running in 1:8 even though the music was short, could have put the limited, because they were very limited and very small, speech samples of the arcade in. Surely. I can go forward? Yep. Oh, it is easier. I would say you got a little bit more freedom, not just in the Death Star stage, but on this stage, despite the fact that clearly I died. Death by Bungie. Oh, ass. I'll get to the Death Star one more time. Not the greatest game to do a comparison of, because I'm shit at it on all versions, even the arcade, but that might be the new tactic. Not let the Wookiee win. See what I did there? Fly around the traps. But I had to, because I just want to make sure that I've done comparison. I fucking got through that, you furry little bastard. Got comparisons of each one of the Star Wars games. If you put me back, I'm going to shoot the next bloody Ewok I see. I can't, they're too difficult to fucking fly around. Right, I'm not going through it. Go right, there we go. I remember that. Balls! Come on, just let me... Yoink! Ah, you thick bastards. There we go. Man, this game is brutal. Now the Ewoks are friggin' bigger than 3PO. Lucky he's their god. See what I did there? Right. The sound effects are weak. I'll say that. I'm not saying they're amazing on the Spectrum, because they're not, but the sound effects are weak. They are not strong with this one. Did he piss off? He pissed off. Oh, this is tense. I'm not gonna lie. Right. I want to stay dead central. There we go, we got it. Oh no, we just go straight through. I thought you turned around. Maybe that's in the arcade. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. Balls! You get the general thread of things. That's how hard it is. I don't remember, I could be wrong, that it puts you back in the arcade. Surely it lets you go through it again. Now I will say it's kind of pointless because I'm not going to get there, but there is a level when you're flying over the Death Star with two X-Men wingmen on either side of the Millennium Falcon. It does flashes from that to levels on Endor to kind of replicate how they did that in the movie, which is really cool. Oh, that means I start the next level because I didn't escape the Death Star, but it blew up. So I start the next level, so there's different Ewok traps. This is a very mixed bag, but it's like that in the arcade. So, yeah, there you go. Both are good ports of a mediocre game that's very hard, but clearly, I can say it, clearly the Commodore 64 has it in this one. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think about either of these ports or any of the ports, or even the movies. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.